So government contracts, the government contracts that used for goods, services, or works that the government needs to fulfill its missions, such as construction, IT services, research, or development projects. Like if you have a company that has that offers construction, plumbing, or I saw one of the companies that offer landscaping, they have a multiple service that you can bid for with the government. These contracts are awarded through a competitive bidding process. So in order for you to bid to one of these contracts, you will have to prepare a proposal to the government so you can bid for the different contracts that you're interested in, depending on your field. The proposals are evaluated based on factors such as price, quality, and technical specifications. Why are government contracts important? Government contracts are a source of revenue for business, particularly for small businesses that provide goods and services to the government. The contracts can provide a stable, reliable source of income for businesses, as government agencies often require ongoing services and products. The government or this through your state or nationally, you can access to many opportunities in the field that you're currently in. Government contracts can also lead to the development of new products or services, as business may need to innovate or adapt to meet the government needs. So I'm going to talk later in the presentation for where you can access to different bids or where you can find resource or opportunities where you can register so you can receive the information. Also through Small Businesses Strong, you can request to provide an advisor, and they will connect you to a person that is experienced with the bidding process so they can provide you guidance with this process. Winning government contracts, how you can win government contracts. You can win government contracts through doing a research market, like doing a research to see what is the need that the government has at the moment, like understanding the needs of the government agency, building relationships with government officials and potential teaming partners, also developing a strong proposal that meet requirements and criteria outlined in the solicitation, providing competitive price while maintaining quality. There are many agencies or consulting firms like us. We bid for contracts with the government through the state or nationally within our services. So in order for you to present yourself with a government or a government agency, you will need to draft, as I mentioned before, you will need to draft a request for proposal. And this request for proposal will have to cover all your services in detail and sell yourself or your services in detail so they can consider you for the specific opportunity that they have. The way that the government works is that they open a bidding because they cannot offer in a contract or a service to a person in specific. They just have to open a bidding process so they can be fair at the time that they're going to hire a company that work for them for this specific good service that you want to participate in. In order to part of the contract, give me one second. Government contracts regulations. They also have different regulations besides the request for proposal. The regulations are the Federal Acquisition Regulation. The FAR is a primary regulation that that governs the acquisition process for all executive agencies in the federal government. The FAR covers aspects of the procurement process, including acquisition planning, solicitation of offers, evaluation of proposals, contract award, and contract administration. It sets for policies, procedures, and guidelines for conducting government procurements and ensures that all government procurements activities are conducted in fair, open, and competitive manner, as I was mentioning. Continue with government contracts and regulations. They require that all goods, products, the BA requires that all goods, products, and materials purchased by a federal government be produced in the United States, or that the cost of the domestic components of the product exceeds a certain threshold. The BBA applies to all government contracts for goods, products, and materials, except certain limited circumstances. Trade agreements, TAA. The TAA requires that all goods, products, and materials purchased by federal government be produced in countries that have trade agreements with the United States. The TAA applies for all government contracts for goods, products, materials over a certain dollar threshold. Also, Small Business Administration, the SBA regulations. The SBA has regulations to apply to government contracts awarded to small businesses, including requirements for size, standard, certification programs, and subcontracting opportunities. There are certain contracts that are dedicated just for small businesses. So they have limitation in the amount of employees that you currently have within your company. Also, there are certain contracts that has a qualifications, or they point, or you add points in the evaluation. If you are, for example, like if your business has been certified as a minority, you have extra amount of points against other bidders that are trying to get the same contract that you're getting. Just for you to be certified as a small business, you can have this extra points, as they have some contracts dedicated for minority-owned business. And minority-owned business can also be us as a woman. We can be also considered as a minority if you are being certified as well. The other regulation is the Survey Contract Act. The SAG requires that contractors and subcontractors providing services to federal government pay their employees a minimum wage and provide certain benefits such as health insurance and vacation pay. The SAG applies to all government contracts for services over a certain dollar threshold. The Davis-Bacon Act requires that contractors and subcontractors pay their employees prevailing wages and benefits for construction projects funded by the federal government. The prevailing wage rates are determined by the Department of Labor and vary by geographic location and type of construction work. So this applies specifically for construction, for the people that are in construction field. The procurement, it's the process of acquiring goods, services, or work, whether through purchasing or contracting. And involves the entire process from identifying the need for a product or service to evaluating potential suppliers, negotiating and awarding contracts, and finally managing the relationship with the supplier. Procurement is an important function for both public and private sector organizations, as ensures that the organization has the necessary resources to carry out its missions or operations. And what are the types of procurement? Direct procurement, the purchase of goods, services, or work from a single supplier or vendor. Competitive procurement, the solicitation of bids or proposal from multiple suppliers or vendor in order to obtain the best value for the organization. Cooperative procurement, the use of existing contracts and agreements between a lead organization and other entities to obtain goods, services, or work at a lower cost. Emergency procurement, the expedited acquisition of goods, services, works, or works in response to an emergency situation. And what is the procurement process? Identify the need, determine the need for a product or services, and document the requirements. Develop a procurement plan, determine the procurement plan method, evaluate potential suppliers, and develop a plan to bid or for proposals. And there is where I in the other slides, I'm going to show you samples of how you can develop an RFP or a proposal, so you can see how it looks and what it needs to have in order for you to prepare this proposal so you can bid for a specific product or service with the government. Bids or proposal, publish a request for bids or proposals and evaluate the response based on predetermined criteria. Award the contract, select the winning bidder or proposer and award the contract. Manage the contract, monitor the performance of the supplier and manage the relationship to ensure that the organization receives the expected value. So throughout the process, once you submit your bid to the government, from there on, the procurement is the one that you're going, that is going to make the decision on who is the winning bidder, and if you win the bid, that's the person that you are going to be in touch at the beginning of the contract. What's the procurement regulations? Identify the need, determine the need for a product or service, and document the requirements, develop a procurement plan, determine the procurement method, evaluate potential suppliers, and develop a plan for bids and proposals. Bids or proposals, publish or request bids or proposals and evaluate the responses based on predetermined criteria. Oh, this is something that I covered already. They award the contract. So they are the ones that award the contract, select the winning bidder or proposal and award the contract. And they're also the ones who are going to manage the contract. So here is an example of an RFP that what you need to add when you consider to do a request for proposal for a bidding opportunity. You need to make sure that you have, first of all, read their specifications about how they wanted the RFP to submit it. Sometimes they give you a specific criteria, such as number of pages that you need to submit. Sometimes they also tell you the type of letter, but based on what your business is, you are the expert. So you need to make sure that you lay down everything pertaining to your business, so it's clear for them what type of service or product you are offering them. So the cover letter and also a letter of introduction is very important. As you see here in the presentation. And the profile of the proposal. So the profile of the proposer, it's you and your business, the services that you offer. Again, like, for example, this is a restaurant, and you will see later on that they're very detailed, providing what type of services they offer, and also add as many details, such as like menus, where you show what type of food do you provide and how it looks, and also all your qualification and experiences that you have had with other companies or anything related. Like since you're trying to bid for a government contract, they want to see like dependent, like for example, like for this restaurant, it was very important that they see that they have experience with other corporations. So reading the bidding details and what they ask for, it gives you more opportunity, more chances to win the contract. Also explain your team, or give details about who your team is. The more visual you are, it will be the better, because it will be easier for them to understand and see more details about your business and who is conformed for. Certificate of liability of insurance. There are many addendums or additional information that you have to provide, such as like certificate of liability. Also, they also require from you a W-9. In case you win the contract, you have pretty much everything been pre-set up before the contract. Obviously, once the contract has been awarded, they're going to send you the final contract, and you will have to sign additional documents. But try, when you're trying to do a bid or request for proposal, it's very important that you're as specific as possible in detail about your services and your company. Where you can apply for bids. You can apply, there are many websites or platforms that you can apply for bids. The more common one is the BidNet. BidNet is a membership that you can be part of. You have to pay a fee, a yearly fee, or you can pay monthly fee, and they're going to send you all the bids that are available according to the field that you are in, or the ones that the field or the fields that you're interested in bidding for. Also, in order for to have access for bids, there is this SAM.gov. SAM.gov, it's a federal, a U.S. and federal government platform where you can find business opportunities. Also, as part of the process, they request, some of them request from you to have a SAM number, and that SAM number will enter you to their database. And every time that they have a match with your number or your field, you're going to receive notification about the bidding opportunity according to your field. To receive notifications of new opportunities, you can register for a free account and create customized search for profiles. Federal Business Opportunity, that's another site that you can access to, is a government-wide portal that provides access to thousands of federal procurement opportunities. It's the primary systems used by the government to post solicitations and requests for proposal. To receive notifications of new opportunities, you can register for a free account and set up a customized email alerts. Also, the Procurement Technical Assistance is a network of centers located throughout the U.S. that provide free and low-cost assistance to business that seek to complete government contracts. They offer a range of services, including training, counseling, and assistance with the bidding process. To find the PTAC nearest to you, you can visit the Association Procurement Technical Assistance Center's website, or again, by accessing Small Businesses Strong website and clicking to receive advisor support. You can also be connected through an agency that is expert on the field, and we will be able to help, or anybody will be able to help you with the process, and where can find more resource and information about the bidding process. That's it. Thank you so much for having us. And if you have any questions,